We only have episode 2 up on transmission.
For you wasn't just name. Oh no, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Are we actually live on Twitch?
I'm not seeing it public yet. Oh, there we are. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I see it.
Can you send me like the link to that?
Hold on. Like, it went away. It disappeared. I'm trying to click the live to watch the live. Okay, I got it. Oh, it's just twitch.tv/transmusic. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sun's going, you can hear it.
Go ahead and let it play, if not the whole way, just like most of the way.
What was that if you please say it again?
We didn't really either, but like this is kind of.
I did my couple of things. A walk. I did that.
That sounds like a pretty solid day.
We can't expect it. We can ask for any more instead of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm a terrible friend, but when is your birthday? I know that it was just recently. I know.
It was July 15th.
Okay.
Remember, for a period of time, I was thinking, like, I'm not going to do anything for my birthday, so I don't know what to do. But it turned out that friends actually wanted to hang out with me,
You know you can come. This is all coming through, right? Live. Just to let you know. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I do have your birthday written down. I just.
I know that.
Cool. Well, whenever you want to bring it in.
Yeah, sort of. We can just let it go.
Okay.
Like we're just chilling. Yeah,
We have one.
Oh, there we are. Look at that.
I
That's
did
a
that.
monitor.
Yeah, I gave
We have
some.
Okay, that's cool. This is fun. How's everybody doing? Anybody watching?
No, no one's on yet. Like from what I saw.
I could possibly advertise.
Yeah, please do.
Go
yeah,
for it.
That'd be great. Get some butts and seats.
Butts and seats.
Butts and seats. So, just to get into what I was gonna say. Right, I like to say it's not real, it's not true. I always want you to stick it seats like my characters might. I hate you, no.
Oh god. Sending it to Dallas Texas because I mentioned.
Oh, we're gonna be fine. It's all gonna be good. I'm gonna, after this episode, I'm actually gonna start advertising on my main Facebook and stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have been too. I've been wanting to see how it does organically, but yeah, pretty soon we'll get it out there. I just wanted to make sure that we had it down and like this was going to be consistent, you know?
Yeah, and like it's gotta start to really start
Yeah, I think we'll be able to. Well, I think one way we'll be able to do that is like with those clips, you know, because like it seems like if you broadcast like the whole episode, people are into it, but like you get a lot of traction out of like the little views. Oh, okay. Are we going into it?
Yes, let's go into it. Alright, cool.
Alright, we got the signal.
Alright, hi, and welcome to episode 4 of the transmission. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to do a little play for you, a little dramatization, if you will. We're going to be playing 2 different roles.
Dramatization.
Yeah, dramatization.
Dramatization.
Yeah, we're going to drum up some dramatization for you.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. And it's going to be essentially We're going to be exaggerations. They're going to be caricatures. We're not going to be ourselves. We're not going to be saying the things we actually believe. We're going to be saying things that we've heard either online or in person. And so, you know, in this corner, we're going to have the super bad trans. We're going to have the aggressive, the activist, the, like, down with the system trans, spelt with a, you know, CIS.
That was pretty good.
Thank you, yeah. And in this corner, we're going to have the wonderful, the pleasant, the great to be around, the cis and mainstream approved, apologetic, super informative, super tolerant, cis individual. Or trans individual, I'm so sorry.
I think I called myself Kay.
K.
Kay.
So we're going to have K.
Kay.
And we're going to have, I was going to call myself E. You know, like the drug.
So we have K-E.
K and E.
Cool.
So we're just gonna be these super extra characters where, you know, essentially it's kind of gonna be like, I'm gonna be the trans that makes cis people uncomfortable, like, and you're gonna be the trans that makes cis people very comfortable. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I got it.
And we're doing this because I don't know about you, but me personally, I got a lot of unsolicited advice when I first came out as trans on how to feel, how to act, what to do, what to say back, how to, you know, handle certain different situations. So, I mean, was I like that? Was I the unsolicited advice for you?
No, I mean, if anything, when we first met each other, I mean, before I was on hormones, and I barely knew any other trans people, you know, especially trans women in the community. So, you know, meeting you, it kind of gave me an insight to who I could be, you know, and like, we're definitely different people, and there's no special way to do anything, but you encouraged me to find my own path. So, you know, your perspective is going to be awesome because a lot of the perspective I'm going to be doing tonight comes from a little bit of the internalized transphobia I had a little bit. It comes from some advice that seemed really meaningful toward the beginning of a transition and stuff. So this will be a really interesting night, and we hope that you enjoy it. Thanks again for joining us on the Transmission Show.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm actually going to be pulling a lot from my early trans experience too. But I'm going to be kind of pulling from this elder trans when I was super apologetic, who was like, no, you don't need to say sorry about nothing about your gender and all this, so I'm going to kind of bring a lot of that to the table. So it's funny that we're kind of both pulling from, like, our histories. So
right.
That's great. Okay.
All right. Well,
so, but before we get into that, we're going to have another song, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So next up, we're going to play a song called The Image That You Claimed. This song is called Awakened, super heavy, super rockin', super metal, and super trans.
I'm going to headphone for this one because this is by, you know, The Image That You Claim, but it came to us from Juniper Muse, which I believe is the lead singer to this band, and I just one of my favorite songs. So excuse me.
The Image You Claim?
The Image You Claim. GG on the boards, GG McG.
Can I try to toss one in your mouth?
Okay.
Wait, one more time, I caught it.
Okay. One and done.
Got my headphones. What? I dropped my headphones, they fell off my head. Gigi?
Yeah?
Do you have any way to turn up the audio?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Just trying to get it up.
I'm basically doing what a viewer would do, and just it's going to be slow. So it's like,
Yeah, no, I even do it.
is it from your phone? Yeah. Try turning it up on your phone. It's as hard as it can. Oh, okay, then that's fine. Cool. Okay, this is good. This is this Awaken? This is the Son of Awaken.
Am I good enough?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're doing fine. Just go and switch the song over, and we'll only make a note of it and we'll come back out of it to explain, okay? It's okay.
I don't see what we can do. That's what I have. This is something fun. Yeah, no,
This is a different song than what was called.
We have 4 minutes left. 4 minutes?
You didn't go with the pigtails, huh?
I decided to take forward instead.
This is nice. Ah, it's so good. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Do you think, should I do the pigtails or not? It's up to you. Should be right.
I got it! I got it in my mouth!
Nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Is it awesome? Oh. I mean, I know it's awesome, but
Yeah.
thank you for the generic,
Generic rainbow colored candy.
generic rainbow colored candy, as presented by Life.
Oh. I'll also talk about a sponsor at the end. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we missed the intro.
But, Grindr's more of a fun thing than a begin.
I guess you do end up at Grindr at some point.
You don't begin Grindr.
That's true. Or you find a happy ending at Grindr?
I just listened to headphones to this song and all I heard was Grindr.
We're adults.
I really do love this song so much. I'm going to have it played with you.
Really? That's how much you like it?
Wow. Alright, we're coming to the spectacles.
Song ending in 17 seconds.
Cool.
Sweet. I figured at the very least we could save that until another episode if we want. Yeah, okay. We'll see how it flows. Alright. Welcome back to the transmission.
We are back, and we're going to be our characters now. So I am no longer Echo the Pixie. I am E, the super militant, super hard, unapologetic, screw all the cis people in the world, trans person. Don't assume my gender.
Alright. And I am Kaye. I am here for you. I'm just a normal person living my life and stuff like that, and just trying to find a way to be normal amongst all this, you know? I like what you're doing.
Why do you say the word normal? Like,
What?
what's that to imply about me?
Oh, I didn't say anything about you. I was just saying that normal is...
It's normal, I guess. Yeah.
Normal is normal, and you know what? Normal doesn't cause any kinds of problems. It doesn't make a scene. It just, you know, it even goes to church sometimes. Just because you're going through life changes doesn't mean you need to, you know, give up on what's really important about yourself. So, just want to leave that with you.
Oh, like, don't make my whole identity just my gender?
Yeah!
Oh, because, yeah, it's not like it's a huge part of it or anything, right? But we're getting too deep. Before we get into the questions that we got submitted to us by anonymous, non-existent trans individual, who is...
Thank you for your submission, by the way.
The straw individual of basically every baby trans and their most common questions. And so, before we get into these questions, I just want to ask, so we can both get just kind of a broad topic, like, what does it mean to be trans? You know, so just in a sentence, I'll go first. What it means to be trans is to constantly fight for the bare minimum of respect from a society and a system that isn't geared for you and is kind of against you.
Well, I would say that, you know, if you were born a boy or born a girl, and then you decide at an adult age when you're supporting yourself in your life and stuff, then you can make those kinds of decisions to explore that path for yourself. You know, yeah, that's up to the adult kind of decision right there, is figuring out, you know, if like, oh, you're the other one, you know, that's okay.
Right, yeah, of course, gender is a very adult subject.
Well, you know, whether you're a boy or a girl, you know, that's just completely fine.
As long as you're a boy or a girl. Right?
Well, what else would there be? Right? Like, it's pretty 50-50.
We're gonna get into the questions now. You're playing this character very well. First question. We'll each get to answer. I'll let you answer this one first. I'll read it off. So the question is, what do I do if my family won't accept my gender? What would your answer to that be?
Well, you know...
Miss Kaye.
Miss Kaye. Goodness. Well, you know, obviously that would be a shock, but I would definitely respect them and still love them, you know, because they're my folks and they're my family, you know, and obviously they're just looking out for what's best for me, you know, in their own minds, and, you know, I guess it would cause me to, like, look back on my own ideas and figure out if they are kind of worth exploring a little bit. So that would cause me to reevaluate things. Just, you know, I gotta make sure, right?
You know, do you want to be hasty? With that said, run away if you can't leave. I mean, basically, what I would say is if your family doesn't accept your gender, they're not really your family anymore. Or actually, they never really were. So what you should do is find the people who do accept you, and that would be your actual family. And you'll come to find that they will give you the support you actually kind of need, as opposed to going through these, hoops of like, oh, are you sure? Are you this? Are you that? And it might be an endless string of hoops depending on the family. So my thing is, you don't need them. Move on. Leave if you can. If you're not old enough, kind of, I guess, grit your teeth and bear it as long as you can. Try to find the connections in your community that'll help you transition once you can, at the earliest opportunity, as young as possible.
All right, well, that was a rather strong approach. I would just suggest, again, as a counter rebuttal, that you take your time to make these decisions and really do what's right for you and yours. You don't want to do something that you would later regret, but obviously you got to do what makes you happy and, the people that are important to you happy.
But you also got to make yourself happy, because especially if that's the kind of family you have, they're not going to help you be happy. So, I mean, But, I guess, different strokes, different trans folks, it's just, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree on this one.
Because we're allowed to do that. That was a good question 1. I like that format.
Yeah, and so we're going to go on to question 2 now. And these are some of those common questions that maybe keep people from transitioning, or keep people from admitting or coming out of the closet into a sense. So this next one is for about after that. Like you've done it, you're out. So now, how should I deal with being misgendered in public?
Oh gosh.
Like not a friend, a stranger, we'll say.
Right. Well, that one's kind of hard depending on the situation. I mean, let's be real. Sometimes you might not be in a safe space where you feel like you can speak up about yourself. So, I guess if that happens, I would try to do my best to be patient with them and kind of forgive them and just kind of, think like, well, maybe next time I can wear something a little bit cuter, or maybe I can disguise myself just a little bit more, so that they get it, right? Because I don't want to be a burden and speak up. But I guess if it was somebody that I went to frequently, I might say something every once in a while. But, at the end of the day, I don't want to impose myself on other people.
Well, I mean, of course, we always have to preface, if it's not a safe situation, leave. If it is a safe situation, call them the worst name you can think of. Hurt their feelings back. Well, they've hurt yours for no reason. And even if they're wrong, that just means they're stupid.
Well,
and that's just, no, because when it comes to gender, cis people tend to be a little uneducated. I'd call it dumb. But so when they're going to make a mistake like that, even if it's a faux pas, even if it wasn't intentional, that is a time when you should just remember that they are stupid. And you don't actually need to be burdened with educating them. You can just call them out on their ignorance and then move along. Like you would anyone being ignorant about something else. You could just say, like, you're wrong, or what's wrong with you, and then keep going.
Well, hold on now. Like, just as a counterpoint here, that seems a little harsh and kind of, to arms a little bit, maybe there's some other intermediary steps there. I mean, I get it. Maybe, it was innocent. Maybe they really did see you, and then it just kind of like, came out wrong or something. So all I'm saying is you don't need to jump to everybody's throat, like, as soon as they do something, but...
I mean, I guess you don't need to jump down their throat, but it's also, you're not the trans teacher to the cis masses. It's not your job to teach everyone around you about the difference between the basics of gender. The internet's out there. They can just Google it if they really need to. You don't need to be the one to teach them, is what I'm trying to say, is you can just go live your life.
Exactly, and let me just say that, like, given our political climate, like, it's out there, and it just keeps on going all through the news. So people know about it, is all I'm saying.
Exactly. It's out there. People know about it. So their ignorance is unexcusable, in my opinion, at this point. And if they don't know about it, there's something wrong with them. They're just not even trying.
That's one way to look at it. This is a great little discussion.
Yes. So, last question.
Third one.
Before, we need a peace offering. Generic rainbow-colored candy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
As all the queers like to enjoy.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is
queers.
Like... queers?
Queers.
Queers.
Okay. Okay, so, a little bit of hospitality. I can't say that word. Hostility. No, the other one.
The other one. Hospitalization? No.
Hospitable. Hostility. Why can't I say it?
Hospitable. Well, that was almost there. You were being hospitable.
Yes.
That was the word.
But trying to say that made me hostile. We'll edit this out. It's fine. Last question, then I can get out of this character that's a little too crunchy for me, but also a little bit. I just want to like have just like a trans community, like just all trans people. I just got to get that out of my way before. Just who needs cis people? That's all I'm saying. Remember my character. All right, so
I will pray for you.
Oh, don't assume I need religion.
That you're right there.
So,
Bring in character. They're right. Okay.
Last and final question, and then we'll get out of these characters. So, okay. Just, if someone came up to you and said, I want to come out as trans, but I know I won't pass, what would you say to that?
Well, I definitely understand where you'd be coming from because, you know, you definitely don't want to be made fun of, and you don't want to make yourself a target to other people that maybe aren't super kind on that. You know, and oh gosh, there's all those amazing transformation videos out there too, like Night and Day, right? Like, they gotta wait to come out until like reach a certain point, right? No. Okay.
I would disagree,
right.
And also those transition videos can be actually kind of hurtful to certain trans individuals who will never be able to approach that mark. And all I would say to this trans individual, this straw trans individual, doesn't actually exist, is your need to pass is a part of the problem as well. That is just transphobia internalized into your own mind that makes you feel like you need to hit some sort of stereotypical standard of a gender to be happy. You don't. All gender's bullshit. It's all made up. Someone's new, made up, third, fourth gender they found on the internet versus just being a man or woman, they're all made up. They're all fictitious. And you should really kind of maybe unpack a lot of the things in your mind that say that you need to pass. Too harsh?
No, actually right on target. But I suppose let me try to get back in the mindset. Well, you know, that's all well and good, but most people, they just, you know, they oversimplify, and they're not going to give you the time of day too. So when it comes to it, you know, you kind of, it's almost, it would be way easier to stay in one lane or another.
I mean, the lanes don't really exist, so, and I think people wanting to be in a lane is a part of the problem. Trans or cis. Wanting to just conform to such a gender stereotype only keeps trans people down.
Well.
Again,
characters. Thank you so much for entertaining this discussion. That was really good.
Thank you. Yeah,
that was really good and powerful. We're going to analyze this right after the break, but next, what we're going to have is we're going to have some music by a Chico-based, which is where we're from, Chico, California-based trans woman artist. She actually has her very first show live coming up very soon.
What is her name?
Her name is Kat Johns.
Oh my god, the famous Kat Johns in Chico? That's a part of Radio Relapse?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, I've actually seen her do a concert like on a balcony.
Really?
It was amazing. She was so above me.
Wow, that's incredible. Nobody's ever done that.
I know. No one's ever been elevated on stage, played music as well as her in that moment, in my opinion. Again, character. No, actually not character. That's truth. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you like me. Her.
No, yeah, her. Not Kaye. Kaye is an apologetic, cis-loving...
Not even Katie Jade the Babe, right? Like, no relation. We just... Local doppelganger.
We need to get her to come interview, actually. We need to get...
Kat Johns?
Kat Johns to come interview. You should interview Kat Johns, Katie Jade. That would be the best.
I mean, I would love the opportunity.
Do you think we can schedule the time to get her in here?
I think I can find her on Facebook
Okay,
and
so
stuff. So we'll set that up.
so this is her song. That we're gonna
This is
listen
her
to.
song. This one's called Sunset. It's an instrumental.
Sunset.
Yeah, it's really kind of romantic and stuff. Gigi, you ready to go on that?
Yeah, give me a second.
Cool, cool.
All right. Well, this one's gonna be.
I'm gonna unpack this like super militant non-gender conforming to any gender persona, because honestly it was so I mean it's close to me, but it's not me. It's not. My mom's cis, so I can't hate them all.
Right. No, it's good that you have a boundary like that, and I agree. Like, this is just a little too stuffy.
Yeah, you know, I think if I take the headphone, I feel less. I feel a little less now.
You know what? This really helped me out. Have you, like, I feel about, like, 50% better, roughly, just right here. Notice anything? Oh, now I feel better. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll be right back.
Ah, there.
We could put that sign up again.
I think it's.
I see the green clipboard up there. Do you have, like, the...
I think it's in the.
Gigi, which camera is active?
This one.
Okay.
Was it not something?
Yeah. Is it good to go?
Keep the same that. Yeah, you can see it.
Echo? I guess we're up. Hey everybody! Welcome back!
You're back.
It's your favorite show. It's K&E. Wait, no, hold up.
No more.
It's the transmission broadcast right here on Twitch.
With Katie Jade, the babe.
And Echo the Pixie. And of course, running the boards as always, killing it, GG McG!
Heyo.
How we doing, GG?
I'm doing pretty solid.
Doing pretty solid?
Thank you for doing all the music tonight, by the way. I was rocking out, and I wasn't even thinking about, somebody has to put in work to do all this. Somebody has to put in, like, a lot of work, and it's amazing we all came together, you know?
It
like,
is.
to make this happen. And, like, I knew you from before, from the long, long ago.
Pre-hormones and everything.
Yeah.
We met at our friend Marie's place. I was working on video stuff with her, and
I was wanting to be a star.
yeah. So she was like, "Oh, we gotta feature this girl," and before we know it,
And then we started this, and
yeah,
we needed
and this
someone on
person
tech.
is amazing.
And you knew a tech person. You knew Gigi already.
I did, yeah. It was great to invite her on. I'm so happy that she was willing and able to come on,
And she has all the skills and know-how to satisfy the needs of this show.
That's right.
So it's like, how'd y'all meet? Because I know how we met, but we've never gone over how you all met. Gigi, how'd y'all meet?
Well, I'll leave that to Kat, but...
Kat?
We met on the
That reminds
internet,
me. That reminds me of our new unofficial sponsor for tonight's show.
Oh, we have a sponsor?
It is the app Grindr. Grindr, bringing trans women together for longer than you would have think. It's been an amazing app for a lot of people in the trans community. It's typically thought of as just like the gay man's app, but you know what? Their new motto is Grindr, not all men. So yeah, mostly, but not all men.
That's right.
That's
The thank you, Grindr, for bringing us all together.
I mean,
you really don't make it hard to be around.
Grindr doesn't make it hard? I had to say, I couldn't help. Low-hanging fruit and all that.
So didn't we have something to talk about?
Yes, with that aside, with our sponsor out of the way, our contractual obligation fulfilled, let's get on with just deconstructing those characters and why we did it, and these questions, and how maybe we actually feel, because we had to give answers that weren't us. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of not being me. So,
if there's anything I love about the journey that I went on as a transgender woman, it's that I've become more myself than I felt like I was for a very, very long time. So I hope that journey's like that for you too. But anyway, review the questions.
So, I used to be a much more militant trans back in the day. When I was young and full of fire. And I started to realize that a lot of it is kind of just taking out some misplaced anger. Well, I mean, the anger is justified, but you're misplacing how you're exercising it out. And, I mean, it is frustrating to live in a society where your gender is uncommon or misunderstood or not understood at all. And a lot of times it just feels good to just let out that kind of militant trans side. But also, in my opinion, it's very alienating. It can even alienate you from other trans individuals who maybe just don't want to be the Magneto, of trans individuals. They want to be the Professor X of trans individuals.
Right. Nobody wants to stand out in such a way to where they're ostracized, not only by greater society, but the people that really mean a lot to you. And becoming, exploring your gender can sometimes lead to paths where coming out to people is really hard. Or being yourself in public and being seen as how you want to be seen is really, really difficult, and sometimes it feels like something that you're never going to overcome. It can happen to other people out there, but it can't really happen to you, so you kind of have to grin and bear it. So we felt like it was really important to take these two perspectives that we've had in our own lives and that we know are pretty common out there, and just kind of explore it when it comes to these questions.
Yeah, I mean, I started as super apologetic. I remember when I first used to tell people I'm a girl, I would like look down and I'd like kick the ground a little bit, like, yeah, shucks, I'm a girl, and that wasn't good. And then I got to a point where I was so angry, I wasn't willing to even try to build a bridge with someone that would be willing to want to understand and would be a good ally. I just didn't want to even deal with the time of having to help another person understand what to me seemed like common knowledge but wasn't to other people. And I guess it's kind of like, in a nutshell, what I would like to say is, be whatever kind of trans you want to be. There's no wrong answers. If you want to be a part of the gender binary and you want to be as like cis-seeming as possible, it's totally fine. If you want to be like multi-gender fluid, something that needs an entire autobiography to explain to someone, that's fine too. There's no wrong answers here. And it's just kind of like, I feel sometimes when people pick a side, like the characters we picked, sometimes they'll stick to that, even at the detriment of their own community or themselves. And so I just want to let everyone know be whatever kind of trans you want. Militant, compassionate, apologetic. There's no wrong answers here.
Whatever makes you happy and brings you the most peace, and whatever seems like the way that you want to live your life, we totally encourage that.
And if anyone disagrees with you, screw them. You're cool.
Echo.
They're not.
Echo.
Let's
bring it back.
I'm sorry. I just I
know.
Got a little E still in me.
You did good.
Thank you.
Come again.
Oh, the character. The character.
Thank you.
Not the substance.
Question number 1
yes.
was a tough one.
Yeah. So, what do I do if my family won't accept my gender? What would be your real answer to that? Like, as yourself?
Well, how I am now, I feel like is a little bit different than when it actually happened, I definitely came out slow, and I kind of met resistance as I went, and it actually did cause me to kind of reevaluate my choices and make sure that I was really sure before continuing to other people in the family. Where I am now, I feel like I would definitely like to focus on having that support group who, even whether they're a family member or not, like, they accept me for who I am, they're supportive of my journey, they won't let anything bad happen to me either, and even as you're figuring it out, that they're going to be there for you, no matter how great or ugly it gets sometimes, So I feel like if I were to come out now, I would focus on that and then tackle the tough situations as I feel up to it and as I go. But back then I was a different person.
Yeah.
So how about you?
So your answer more now is go find the support you need, but also use that to help you kind of integrate with the family if that's what you want, kind of a...
Right, and I did focus on family. So I would say, like, I guess you would take, like, little steps, like, probably come out to somebody who you think is going to be ultimately supportive, whether they've supported other people in the community that are out, or whether you just have a really good feeling of acceptance from this person, build small, but, pick those good people, and, maybe the first person you pick isn't quite the right person, but you'll find people, and you'll find your tribe out there. They don't have to be somebody that you knew or family or anything like that.
But they could be.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they could be. And
yeah.
if they can, that's awesome, But they don't have to be.
Exactly. Like, for me, I was never really close with my family even before I transitioned. So, for me, transitioning and them not accepting it, I was just out the door. Like, I was already leaving, and essentially. So, for me, family wasn't very important. So, I couldn't really relate to other people where family was important. But I have a better understanding now of how other people view family and how important it can be to them. And what I would like to say, and what I've seen from other families, is your family isn't a monolith. There might be people in your family that don't accept you, but you might actually be surprised that there could be a cousin or a sibling or someone else in the family who maybe you weren't as close to before who's actually pretty accepting. Or you might realize that the people who are the closest and most supportive to you in your family will accept this, even if the parents of the family or other people in the family or grandparents in the family don't accept you. It can be a mix, and you can always leave a door open for those people if you want them in your life, but you don't have to, like, go out of your way to try to build something for them. But you can just leave the opportunity open whenever they're willing to accept you. And that, so I guess it's kind of, I've gotten a little less screw 'em as I've gotten older, and a little more, well, I mean, take 'em or leave 'em, it's up to you.
And kind of likewise and almost opposite, I've gotten to a point where it's almost like, you know what, if this person can't quite understand, you know what, then whatever, you know. But I'm going to focus on the good experiences and the good relationships in my life and what brings me joy, and not burn bridges, you know. So ultimately, that's where I'm at. I think we're running out of battery.
Okay, so we're going to finish, we got two, we'll just kind of rapid fire them real quick. How should I deal with being misgendered in public? What I would just basically say to that real quick is, I'm a comedian. What I typically do is make a joke out of it, but also, I mean, the fault is on them. The fault isn't on you. It's not that you're not looking good enough or this good enough or that. The fault is either they're mean or they're dumb. And so whatever it is, it's not on you.
Yeah, definitely. And I would agree with that. Like, basically, like, whatever your situation is, be safe. You know, if you have to grin and bear it to get by, you know, unfortunately, sometimes it happens. Like, sometimes I still get misgendered, and I'm 2.5 years in hormones. I've been out for 2 years, you know. It happens, and sometimes you just kind of got to go, all right, whatever. You know, that's their problem, like
Exactly.
you said. You know, but, you know, if you feel like you're in a safe space or you feel like you have a good opportunity, you can always do something really small, like, well, actually, my preferred pronouns are this, or like, excuse me, I'm a woman, or excuse me, this is my identity, you know. And most of the time, most people don't want to cause a problem either, so they'll probably be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But again, depends on your situation, depends on where you are. Sometimes you kind of got to grin and bear it if your safety's on the line.
I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about being any kind of minority, I feel like, probably.
Yeah.
Especially being trans, you just gotta, there's things you're gonna have to tolerate, essentially. But so the last one is, I want to come out as trans, but I know I won't pass.
No, you don't. Shut the heck up. Like, you don't know who you're going to become and how happy you are going to become until you decide to take that leap and really take a stab at defining who you are. Because, like, I understand, like, especially, like, the older people get, you know, and the more entrenched in their lives that they are, sometimes imagining something completely different just feels like so, like, it's too big of a leap, or like you're gonna lose everything. You know, whether or not people find you attractive, whether or not people see your identity, is not the most important thing about being transgender. It's you being happy with the person you see in the mirror. And honestly, the biggest thing with my transition and hormone therapy that just helped me out immediately, it was in that first 4 weeks. It was in that first 8 weeks where, like, the medicine was just coming in my body, but my brain felt right. And just that peace of mind alone, like, I knew I made the right choice even before the body development happened. So, you know, you can always backtrack, you can always change your mind at any time, but ultimately, don't go at it as to, will people see me this way? Go at it as, will I like how I see myself?
And for this question, I kind of pulled it directly from my brain, because this was the thing that stopped me from transitioning earlier in my life. This was the thing that made me feel like, since I'm not going to get the goal, I shouldn't even try. And that kept me away from actually enjoying myself in my life. And I know I don't pass, and I probably am never going to pass. And I'm actually becoming okay with that as time goes on, because for some of the first times ever, even though I might not love what I see in the mirror every time, sometimes I enjoy it. sometimes I like it, but I actually just care now. When before it was just who gives a flying frick, it's never going to be right. So, yeah, maybe you won't pass, but you'll probably be happier.
And ultimately, that's what life's about, being happy.
And gender isn't a test. No pass fail. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no, not multiple choice, not like true or false, whatever. All right. Well, we've had an evening, we've had a broadcast, you've been an audience, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you're a trans artist of any kind of medium, but definitely music, we want to be a music program, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got your music out there, you want us to get your name out there, use your music on the air, giveustransmusic@gmail.com.
giveustransmusic@gmail.com. That's giveustransmusic@gmail.com. I've memorized this and it's wrote in my brain. It lives rent-free and it's actually seared in the inside of my skull. Please giveustransmusic@gmail.com. Also, real quick, if gender was pass-fail, I get grade on a curve. Alright, I'm done.
We've been The Transmission. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next week. We'll start around 8-ish Pacific time. And, yeah. Thanks again for watching. Take us away, Gigi.
Play us out.
Do the thing. Gigi!
Yep.
Do the thing!
I think she did.
Did she do the thing?
I think she already did, yeah.
Alright, she did the thing.
Yeah, she did the thing. Alright.
Rock and roll all night and party every day. I wanna rock and roll all night, party every day.
Oh, someone asked, what if a young child misgenders you?
Oh, do you want to answer that real quick?
I'll answer it next time, actually.
Okay.
For next episode.
Hey, we hear your question. Thank you so much for sending us that. We'll address that next time, right?
Yes, but in short, just giggle and walk away.
You know, they're kids. It could be a good or not learning opportunity, but at the, you know.
Yeah, like, you know, someone else's kid. If it's like a kid you don't know. Like, don't engage with some strange kid. You know.
Wait a minute. If you think about it, aren't all people just some strange person's kid?
Not Jesus.
Oh
Wait, no, hit him off. Yeah, never mind.
Mary, Joseph.
Had a little lamb. Is that what that song means?
Oh Lord. Take us offline.